of course, this drops.
It
now.
did. Let me stop you right there, buddy.
Couldn't even spot Qui-Gon's lightsaber hilt.
Okay. Hold on, though. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Last Week in Star Wars. I'm Alex.
I'm Molly.
And we're going to catch up on news that is a week old now because we went to Dragon Con last week, and literally as we were walking out the door, they put out that press release with the full cast of Star Wars Starfighter and saying that it was day one of production. So they've been in production for a week now, but we're going to talk about it now that we're kind of halfway recovered from Dragon Con.
That kind of thing has happened a lot to us. It hasn't happened in a long time, but I was doing my makeup. We were about to walk out the door to go, and I was like, of course, this drops.
It
now.
did give me enough time to, at least in the video I had recorded last week, pop in a little joke of I was guessing that some news would drop, and then I was like, lol, yep, it did.
It did. The picture that they posted was very dark and kind of shadowy, so we didn't get a whole lot of imagery, but we did get some more cast announced.
Joining the previously announced Ryan Gosling, the film stars Flynn Gray, Matt Smith, Mia Goth, Aaron Pierre, Simon Bird, Jamail Westman, Daniel Ings, and Amy Adams. So that was the full little press release that they put out. Amy Adams was a surprise.
Amy Adams at the bottom of the list too. So I was like, I don't know if that means she's gonna have kind of a smaller role. I don't know.
I think that is probably a bit of negotiation. A lot of times in casting, the people at the very front and the very end, that's kind of where you negotiate for, because those are the most memorable names. People remember the beginning and the end of a list more so than the middle.
I'm gonna guess that she's playing the mother of this kid.
I think that is a solid guess. I am not surprised that a kid is in the mix. I think those were some rumors swirling around that Ryan Gosling's character is trying to protect this child, which is well-worn territory in Star Wars at this point, so I'll be interested to see if that's the case, how it's going to feel different from The Mandalorian or from The Bad Batch.
Obi-Wan. Yeah. There's always some grumpy guy that has to take care of some kid.
At what point can these kids just take care of themselves? What's going on?
This sounds like something that's just going to continue to happen.
Yeah. We also don't know for sure, but Matt Smith and Mia Goth have both been stated to be in villain roles in Deadline articles and stuff. So they didn't confirm any of that. They just confirmed that, yes, this is true. Matt Smith, Mia Goth are in it.
I'm excited for them to both be villains, co-villains. I am hoping that it's not going to be too similar to Baylan and Shin. I don't want it to be that same sort of relationship.
My completely speculative idea is that Matt Smith will be a superior, that he might be built up in this movie to be a villain in the New Jedi Order movie, to maybe be the big bad, and Mia Goth could be his underling or something, the main villain of this movie, while Matt Smith is kind of we're going to build up to him, but I don't know.
That does.
It could go the opposite way.
It does kind of feel like Baylan and Shin if that is the case.
Yeah.
But
maybe make Mia Goth the main villain.
Yeah.
And make Matt Smith the one that's in Starfighter. But I like that idea. I guess I just have it in my head that Starfighter is going to help bridge us to the new Jedi Order era. And I feel like the villains could be a part of that. I know there was an actor from the In-Betweeners in the cast. We've never seen that show, but I saw a lot of people talking about that. I believe it's a comedy, so I'm going to expect that's a comedic relief character.
Droid, probably. I don't know.
You never know.
The comedic relief is, a lot of times in Star Wars it's droids.
It could be, all right, maybe we get an astromech or something like that is in Ryan's ship, but also speaks basic.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Having an R2-D2 that's yelling expletives the whole time. Kind of like Chopper, where you can kind of make out what he's saying.
Maybe a Gungan.
If it's a Gungan, I want him to be the most serious Gungan.
Yeah, speaks kind of like how Yoda and Yaddle speak very differently. Speaks very much kind of normal and not Jar Jar-esque at all.
It reminds me of, like, that is canon, that they don't all speak like that, and that they put that in the novel Last Shot, and Han goes up and starts talking to a Gungan like that, and he goes, "Let me stop you right there, buddy." Yeah. I wouldn't mind that.
I do hope that there's a good mix of alien characters in this. Ever since we watched The Acolyte and we got the character Mother Coral, I always love that, like, Zabrak look. And I would love to have another villain Zabrak character. So I think Mia Goth as a Zabrak would be great.
I agree. Sean Levy also confirmed outside of this article that Claudio Miranda will be the cinematographer, and I am very excited by that because he is the same cinematographer that was on Top Gun Maverick and F1, which we haven't seen but have heard great things. He won an Oscar for The Life of Pi, but...
Nice.
Yeah, having the Top Gun Maverick cinematographer for a Starfighter-based movie, good idea.
Great idea.
Yeah.
That movie,
I'm for it.
We haven't rewatched it. We keep saying that we want to, but we did see some clips of it when we were at Skywalker Sound in like incredible theater. And yeah, like the cinematography in that film is great.
They played the clip. It was more for the sound than anything in that theater, but yeah, just watching that and listening to it, the scene where they're trying to escape the mission and there's just like anti-aircraft missiles flying everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to watch this again. It's so cool.
If we get that in Star Wars, I'll be happy.
Yeah, it's a full circle thing because Top Gun, that mission was basically a trench run. And now we're taking that cinematographer and like, you come over here now.
It really was. In fact, you even made a video about how Top Gun Maverick was a great Star Wars film.
Yeah, and it is. But yeah, we missed all that news because we were at the most wonderful place in the world last
Not
weekend.
Disney World.
No, Dragon Con, downtown Atlanta. Oh, I forgot you got a shirt.
I got a shirt.
Now I'm jealous.
It's an old shirt, though. I didn't
But
even
it checks
realize
out.
it says 2023
It
on it.
Did you get a discount on it?
I don't remember. I just wanted one.
It's fine. We were there too.
I was like, I don't even have a Dragon Con shirt. And yeah, we've been going since 2009.
Yeah, we've been going for a long time. Coming up on 20 years. This was our 16th year? 17th?
Wow.
How does math work? But yeah, always a crazy time. It's a fan-run convention, and it's just full of passion, full of amazing cosplays. I love it there.
Everyone there is so cool, too. Like, everyone is super nice, super supportive. There's compliments flying everywhere. Because, like, I mean, the cosplay is huge at this convention. Like, almost everyone is in some sort of costume. And it'll be from just, like, a t-shirt that says Calkite all the way to, you know, these mech characters that are, like, 12 feet tall, or, like, Warhammer characters with these giant suits on, and everything in between. So everyone is, like, walking around complimenting each other's costumes and like giving out ribbons, and it just feels good to be in that space with all those other nerds and to be like appreciated.
It's a very similar energy as Star Wars Celebration, where everyone is there to be passionate about Star Wars. This is like everyone's there to nerd out about the most specific things, and like the passion there, you just feel it. It's a great energy. And you're right, compliments left and right. Even we did make those silly Calkite shirts. We were like, oh, this is such a fun, easy, comfortable group thing we can do. And then we spent the day hunting for a Krennic and finally found one at the end of the day. And then we harassed him for so long. We take so many pictures with us, please. And
he was like, oh, wow, you guys are really excited that a Krennic is here.
I think we overwhelmed him a little bit. But he was even like the party Krennic with the sash from season 2 of Andor.
We got a big group photo with him and my friend Elise, who went as Dedra. So that was great. And I think that Krennic was handing out ribbons that said deep substrate foliated calkite.
Right there.
Yep.
Deep substrate foliated calkite, which is what my shirt said.
And Dedra was giving out #girlboss. These were ours. We had blank is my Glepshido. So those
I collected, a lot of Andor ones. Here's one that says fight the Empire, but it doesn't say fight.
Not fight.
And we got that from a Marva cosplayer.
She was handing out 2 options, though. She was like, if you don't want to have a potty mouth, I have one that says fight.
She was like, here's the Disney Plus version if you want that. But I was like, I'll take the other one, please.
So many people had the I Have Friends Everywhere ribbons. All of mine are Star Wars, K-pop Demon Hunters, and one Halloween one.
You got a Lady Gaga one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This one, I don't even know if I should consider this part of the ribbon.
That's insane.
Because it's plastic, first of all. I don't think it lights up anymore because the battery probably ran out. Oh, it kind of does. But it lights up.
It's got a battery on it. That's insane.
Dang. They had regular ribbons that said Born This Way that they were giving out. But because of my enthusiasm for the group of Gagas and my love for her and like all the costumes, they were like, you get a special badge.
You deserve this.
I was like, yes, I did it.
That reminds me of Tony Gilroy when he was talking about Andor Season 2 and all the different departments, that everyone at Lucasfilm is a maniac. I'm like, that's how I feel about a lot of Dragon Con, is just...
They go above and beyond.
People make the most insane, impressive things, and yet no one is like condescending or judgy about their fandom. I compete in the trivia competition every year, but everyone up there, no one gets too competitive. Like, no one acts like, well, I won, so I'm king of the nerds this year. Everyone's just relieved it's over.
Yeah.
But the trivia people don't look down on the cosplayers. In fact, we're like, oh my God, I could never do what you do. And they're like, well, I could never do what you... Like, everyone's just impressed with each other and celebrating each other. I love it.
It's a great time. And it's also a huge party. Like, if you like to party, there's all these dance parties. There's, like, specific themed parties. We went to the K-pop party, Thursday night?
Yeah.
And they played a ton of songs from K-pop Demon Hunters, which I loved. There's the Star Wars themed party the last night on Alderaan. That's a lot of fun. Everyone's got their lightsabers and, like, just a lot of fun themed parties. But just walking around, everyone is ready to party.
Everyone is partying, whether they're in a party or not.
Yeah. There's the area outside where a lot of the photo shoots happen. There's a DJ out there, and that DJ was killing it all weekend long, and everyone was out there like dancing. It was so fun. I need to look and see what my steps were like over the weekend. I did try to wear my watch the whole time just to see, and I know Sarah said she hit like 30 miles over the whole weekend.
I was wearing my watch during Star Wars trivia. This has never happened to me before, but it went off and it said, your heart rate has been high, even though we can tell you're sitting down. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I was like, no, I'm just really stressed out, which I'm going to do. I mean, we have the certificate up here. I got second place this year, but lost to someone very deserving who you might recognize if you're in our live chats. Calinstagram is their username. They flew across the world from Australia to come beat me. Mm-hmm. And I'll save the last question that knocked me out until I'm doing a video that'll come out on Monday, because, you know, I always do my so-and-so is the worst and here's why. Mm-hmm. It's because I missed a question about them.
Anytime Alex gets knocked out, then we have to make a video about why you got knocked out.
But it was genuinely great that Calinstagram won, because, I mean, they played like a near perfect game. I was struggling. I don't even think I deserved second place.
You couldn't even spot Qui-Gon's lightsaber hilt.
Okay. Hold on, though. There was one round where everyone had to look at two lightsabers, and everyone else, like, everyone gets unique questions. Everyone else was like, here's the Darksaber or Ahsoka's lightsaber. Which one belongs to Ahsoka? And then it got to me, and it was like, here's Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's lightsabers, both from episode 1, which look very similar.
I don't know.
I know the key detail I could have looked at now, but in the moment I think I was just dismayed that they were already close, and I never want to waste anyone's time, and I just threw out an answer.
Yeah.
That was the only one in round 1 I got wrong.
Every year there's one person's spot that kind of really gets hammered with the really difficult questions, and I think that was spot 2 this year.
Yes, it wasn't me, because I obviously, like, I did well the rest of the round. I think I had to guess a couple times, but yeah, the poor person in chair 2, I was like, I don't know a lot of those. But Calinstagram, I think, missed almost none. I do think that there was one or two in round 2 that I was like the only one to get. But I'm going to tell this whole story on Monday, but like there were some things I blanked on that I should not have. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when my heart spiked, where I was like, this is my nightmare.
Anytime, you make a stupid mistake and you did know the answer, but you mess it up, that's the worst.
It was Bly in the Schmodown all over again. It's like, I know this name, I just couldn't pull it. And it's not like I'm going to sit up there and make everyone else wait.
Yeah. So we took the test. You got a 47 out of 50, which isn't your best score ever.
Second best.
But you did get the best score out of anyone there who took the test. But you had to get a 38 or higher. I don't know. I don't remember what my score was because I didn't really tally it. But I think I did pretty good. So I was probably mid-30s. Daniel even told me I did well.
Daniel runs the quiz every year, and a special thing about this year is it was the 15th anniversary. Usually every year Daniel does a Jar Jar round, maybe 2 rounds. Well, this year we did a second full trivia competition, the same 8 people, and it was all Jar Jar questions, which was delightful.
So the test is taken Saturday night, and the actual trivia is on Sunday. Sunday was my full day of being Darth Malphaba, which turned out to be a huge hit. I was so very pleased with
Were you surprised? I wasn't surprised at all.
I was a little surprised. Yeah. Just because, like, the costume isn't that special. The hat is cool and unique. The makeup did turn out great.
The makeup was phenomenal. Like, I knew you'd make it look good, but I was blown away with how well it turned out.
I was impressed with the staying power. It was all Marin products, if anyone is curious. It was water-activated paint with powder on top and a setting spray. But, yeah, it lasted all day long. It was kind of hot because the costume is, like, black layers from head to toe, but I was fine. I stayed pretty hydrated.
So, yeah, hat with horns coming out of it. Green instead of red, but with the black tattoos. And when we were discussing this cosplay, it was almost a year ago that we had this idea, but like we threw out the idea of, and she should have a double-sided broom. And I was like, you're doing this. You have to do this. And seeing people like register all the little bits and pieces about your costume was so much fun.
They were like, are you like a Sith Wicked Witch of the East? And then they would see the broom, and then they would see the other side of the broom, and they'd be like, oh, I get it.
Right. It just people putting it all together. Or sometimes we'd be walking around and I'd be a few steps behind you, and you just hear someone go, oh my God, that's awesome. Like, that's the kind of thing you see and hear at Dragon Con constantly.
It was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to bring her back next year, add a cape, maybe do something a little fancier with the double broom saber.
When we weren't partying or losing at trivia, I was moderating 3 panels. You were on a panel. I got to moderate one of the author panels this year, which was a lot of fun. Delilah Dawson, Timothy Zahn, Michael Stackpole, John Jackson Miller, and Kevin Anderson, who I had not ever met before. He's at Dragon Con a lot, but this was the first time I got to speak to him. And I kept on grilling him about Crix Medine, which was fun because he killed Crix off.
Justice for Crix.
Yeah, he was the one that wrote Darksaber, in which Crix Medine dies. So I was asking him, why would you do that? Ooh. And he actually had a fun story about it, that basically fans were feeling like, oh, there's no stakes because if anyone was in a movie, they won't die. And then he said, so I was like, I wanted to kill off character that was in the movies, and I pitched Crix to Lucasfilm, and they were like, you can't kill Crix, he's a major character. And he's like, the guy's got 3 lines, like, what are you talking about?
A major character.
Yeah, but he won that argument and he killed off Crix. But I brought it up a couple times, and he very playfully was like, what is your deal with Crix, man? And I was like, I just like him.
He didn't deserve that.
He didn't.
He already had to deal with that awful beard.
But that was a lot of fun. The authors are always really great to talk to. And then I moderated a panel on the High Republic, getting to wrap that all up.
That was a fun panel.
I think I've moderated that panel for the last, at least 2 or 3 years. So
they know to contact you for that because we're like the High Republic.
They
super
know that
fans.
I've read it all. So they're like, let's get Alex. The whole group was great. I had considered wearing my High Republic robes, and then I didn't because it was early, and then I showed up and 2 other people were in High Republic robes, and I was like, I should have done it.
Oh.
Should have just woken up a little earlier.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Every year we say that.
Yeah.
Even the day I did Malphaba, I woke up pretty late because it's by Sunday we're dragging.
Yeah, we're feeling a little rough. And then our last panel was on Monday, and we got to celebrate 10 years of The Force Awakens.
Which was a lot of fun.
It was.
Everyone was like super cool. Everyone in the audience was super cool and supportive, just talking about and celebrating the sequel trilogy.
But yeah, we love Dragon Con. We'll be there next year. We're there every year. We love to sing its praises.
Keep an eye out for a bigger Wicked Star Wars crossover group.
Yeah,
next year.
we're talking about more characters. I might be out as Qui-Gon Galinda. I have ideas for that.
It's time to try defying Palpatine.
Uh-huh. But moving into last week in canon, we have 2 new comic issues to talk about. The Hunt for the Falcon #1 and Legacy of Vader #8. I figure let's go in chronological order and talk Hunt for the Falcon. The first thing I'll say is I liked this a lot more than I was expecting to.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like seeing Han in this kind of stage of his life and like knowing, where he came from and where he ends up. It was interesting to see him really kind of struggling to find his place and everything. He's working with Lando at these races, and he's kind of just like going back to what he knows because I guess him and Leia are either split already or maybe they're still together and not officially split. That's not really super clear.
Yeah, so timeline-wise, I think it takes place around or before 21 BBY because that's when Shadow of the Sith takes place, and at the end of that, Lando stays on Pisana, and he stays there until the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
So I think that this is probably before that. So I don't think Ben would have fallen at this. He definitely wouldn't have if that's the case, but I don't know. The comic makes it ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
If Lando weren't in it, I would think it was probably after Ben's fall, but they haven't really nailed down the timeline yet.
He gets to go to Kashyyyk in this, and like we see a little bit of Chewbacca with his family, which is really nice. But Han is there to like be like, "Hey, Chewie, come hang out with me because I'm having a midlife crisis and I need your help." He doesn't say that, but that's essentially...
I mean, that's the vibe.
That's the vibe. That was kind of sad because Chewie, he is like locked in with Han. And so it looks like he is a little unsure about leaving his family, but he ends up going with Han. And I was kind of like, oh.
Well, we see Chewie with Lumpy, or Waru as he wants to be called now, and Mala, and we see their house, and it's exactly like it is in the holiday special. I liked all that. But yeah, Han shows up, and I'm sure he told him like, hey, I need your help. It'll be a fast job. Like, I just need to go get the Falcon. But of course, it's going to turn into something more and more. Mm-hmm. So I kind of understand Chewie being like, my old buddy needs my help. I can leave for a couple days. And then it like turns into this huge thing.
Yeah.
But I was glad to see him thriving in home life.
Right. We talked about this earlier, but it kind of feels like because Wookiees live so long, I feel like Chewie's family kind of has an understanding that Chewie might be like, Han's human. I may not have that much more time with him. I'm definitely going to outlive him. So I'm going to go hang out with my buddy some more.
Yeah, it makes sense. I remember a while back someone online compared their relationship to like, Chewie has this life debt to Han Solo, and they have never really gotten into that in canon. But someone pointed out, it's basically like you own a dog. Our dog is asleep right in front of him. And like, yeah, I would do anything for him or my cat. And like, that's kind of how Chewie probably feels. It's like, I have this being that I love dearly, and I will do anything if they ask.
Yeah. And he knows he's not going to be around forever.
Yeah. I'm not saying that Han is Chewie's dog, but like it's a kind of a similar relationship of like, I love you to death and I know that our time together is limited.
Right. I mean, a lot of people compare it the other way around. And like Chewie's the sidekick and Chewie's the pet friend. And it's like, no, it's kind of the other way around.
Yeah. But they're on this mission to go reclaim the Falcon. They're trying to track down Duquesne, who I think at this point is sort of in control of it. It's been impounded because he owes off some debts. His character design matches the first time we saw him in Star Wars Adventures. Mm-hmm. Although in that comic, he's kind of telling his past and he's about to join the Resistance and turn over a new leaf. In this, he's not a good guy. Mm-mm. He like murders someone and is pulling scams and stuff. So he's not there yet.
It's fun to see that story fleshed out a little bit more. Like we hear the names Duquesne and Conja Club and like all these names in The Force Awakens, but to have that history of where the Falcon ended up and with who, to have all that fleshed out is kind of fun.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see it pass into the hands of the Irving boys and Dunkar Plutt and so on. So while that story is fleshing out The Force Awakens, Legacy of Vader issue 8 kind of did the same thing, which this is all fun. We're getting 10 years of The Force Awakens and we're learning more stuff about the plot that we never knew. Mm-hmm. I really liked this issue. It told us more about the Knights of Ren and specifically why we don't see them in The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi.
Yeah. This one was fine for me. You know how I feel about the Knights of Ren.
They're a bunch of punks.
They're a bunch of punks, and I really don't care much about them. But, you know, maybe this series will make me care a little bit more. I like the new leader,
Tava Ren. Yeah.
Tava Ren. Great design.
Yeah, I agree. Cool mask, cool cape. She's got her own lightsaber. We basically see that she has been leading them for some time, although they're not like the best followers. But yeah. We find out that after hanging out with Kylo for a while, immediately after that quick glimpse of them that we see in The Force Awakens where they're in the rain and they're killing people, and Rey witnesses that, we see their version of events, and then Snoke shows up and is like, all right, you're done with these punks. It's time to come with me, Kylo Ren. And then he sends stormtroopers to kill all the knights, and they have to go on the run.
Yeah.
So they find a new leader, but they're still running for their lives.
I just want them to realize their worth, and they're worth more than being somebody's lackey punks. They? I don't know, but like everyone should do that. Everyone should realize their own worth, and I don't like seeing them just follow whoever the next big bad villain is that comes along and wants to lead them, and they're just kind of like scurrying off like cowards and fights and stuff, and I'm like, do something else.
I think they know that, like, you know, they're force sensitive, but they're nothing compared to Kylo Ren or Snoke or Palpatine. A lot of them met Palpatine in the Galactic Civil War, and he tossed them aside. He's like, you work for me now, and I'll kill you if you don't. And he killed some of them even if they did. Like, yeah. I just think that they know that they're not really that strong, and maybe their only path to power that they want is to follow someone like Kylo or Tava now. But she seeks out Kylo and bends the knee, offering her services. Obviously, I don't think that's her full plan. The cover of the next comic is the two of them fighting.
Yeah. The other Knights of Ren tell her about Kylo Ren and how powerful he was and how, like, he was just the best baddie ever. And she probably is like, okay.
Yeah, calm down.
We'll see about this. Kylo Ren is the kind of person where you got to butter him up a little bit first to get in with him, and then she'll probably challenge him.
She takes off her mask at the end. I wonder if he's going to maybe see her as like a replacement for Rey, like fill that void.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that this is going to be another like 2-issue arc, because I feel like this set up a lot of interesting ideas, and they're already going to be fighting next issue, maybe. Covers don't always show us what's going to happen, but I'm like, I'm interested in this. I would like to see it go for a while.
Yeah.
But who knows?
You also pointed out that this gave us a glimpse in that flashback in The Force Awakens where they're all in the rain and fighting. There's a moment where Kylo Ren takes the step forward, and it's almost like he is seeing or like realizing that Rey is having this vision, but from the past. And I didn't really catch this, but you said that maybe this meant that he heard Rey or like saw her.
The Knights say that, and then he took a step forward as if he sensed something we couldn't. So I think that through Rey's vision in the Force, she witnessed that and he witnessed her. I mean, I think that links up well with the whole dyad thing. And maybe that could be something where he's like had this girl in her head ever since he saw a glimpse of her. I think that, I don't know, this issue did a lot that I liked. It was, Charles Soule writes some real bangers, and I think he handles the Knights of Ren well.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to shout out some of our friends in Last Week in Fandom. If you're familiar with the George Lucas talk show, which you should be, it's a very funny podcast. They put out a documentary about Connor Ratliff, who plays George Lucas, called I Am George Lucas, ***. It's a really nice, heartwarming doc. We've seen it twice now and recorded an audio commentary for it because their goal is to put out a Blu-ray that is up for pre-order now that has a Guinness World Record number of audio commentaries on it.
Yeah, this was fun. The documentary was really well done, and it was great to get to know Connor a little bit better. Being asked to do a commentary for this, I was like, oh, this is great.
The list of people is awesome. There are 55 audio commentaries on this thing. There's some of our friends, Blast Points did one. Lots of our friends are on that list. But yeah, the Blu-ray is up for pre-order now. If you're fans of the George Lucas talk show, we'll put a link to that in the description. But moving on to Last Week in Questions, our first one is from Jay Rushton, who asks what our favorite DragonCon memory of the year was.
Can I just say the reaction to my Malphaba?
I think that's fine and fair.
It's been a couple years since I had such a big reaction to one of my costumes. So yeah, I was really pleased with that.
Mine is kind of hazy because it's DragonCon and we were partying, but like I just remember being with our friends and like laughing till we were crying. I don't remember about what.
Which night was it?
I think it was Wizard Night. I think it was Friday night. And we were just like riffing with each other and laughing really hard. And that's my favorite thing about DragonCon is not only is the community wonderful, but it's also a time where, you know, all of our friends, we're getting older. We have more responsibilities. Some of them have kids, but we all like set aside that weekend and it's like, we're all going to come. We're all going to party. We're going to all be in one place. And it just doesn't happen as frequently as it used to. So
yeah,
getting to hang out together and laugh and do silly things, I think that might be my favorite memory.
Along the lines of the Malphaba costume success, I am always excited for the next DragonCon, and I think I'm especially excited even more for the next one, knowing that we want to like change stuff up a little bit and maybe do a couple more group costumes.
Yeah, everyone was like really feeding off of each other and being like, oh, we can do this, we can do that. And we have done a lot of the same stuff every year, and I think we're like ready to mix it up and make things a little fresher.
Yeah. And you won Wizards this year.
That's true.
We should point that out.
Which is why I can't remember what we were laughing about.
Yeah.
But I did. I won, and maybe I'll go out on top. I don't know. For our second question, Cindy K asks, which LEGO special is our favorite so far? We've got Rebuild the Galaxy Season 2 on the way. So what of the LEGO specials have there been? So we've got Rebuild the Galaxy, the Holiday Special, Terrifying Tales, Summer Vacation.
I think Terrifying Tales is still my favorite.
That doesn't surprise me.
Just because it's spooky themed, and I'm always excited by spooky themed stuff. And I loved having like Vader's castle as kind of the backdrop to a Halloween spooky themed special.
And the Knights of Ren are in it, your favorite.
I forgot that they were even there.
They do that like Lost Boys style story.
Oh, yeah.
And they've got the Bith sexy sax man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think Rebuild the Galaxy Season 1 so far, just because it has a chance to tell a fuller story and do its own thing. I was so surprised that they remixed the galaxy and it didn't get fixed at the end, and they committed to that. And I think that's such strong storytelling. But of the specific like little specials, I think Summer Vacation did the most for like Finn's character, just showing him being considered by the Force Ghosts as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Seeing that Ben Solo is a Force Ghost. It did some stuff that made me happier, like for Star Wars outside of Lego. I know it's not strictly canon, but I'm still like, yeah, I'm taking that. That's in my head now.
Yeah, I brought that up at the Force Awakens panel that we did, because we were talking about what, extra content, books, comics, whatever, like helped solidify the sequel trilogy story or the Force Awakens story more for us. And I said the Lego special is doing a lot for Finn and his journey to become a Jedi.
And John Boyega was at Dragon Con this year and said that he really likes Finn's portrayal in the Lego specials. So
yeah,
that's
that makes
good.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because that's what we all kind of wanted to see for him.
I want to see him with his own lightsaber in those new Jedi Order movies.
Same.
Come on. But that's it for last week in Star Wars. Next week we'll be covering Tales from the Nightlands issue 1 and Jedi Knights issue 7 and any news that comes out.
And hopefully some more news comes out and we'll be here for it.
But until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel,
follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky,
and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.